The person that you see on this picture is Iranian. He called on one of our staff members the other day and asked to be interviewed. But he didn't want to tell us his name, and he said that we could not show his face. But what he is talking about is important, so please listen. Hello and welcome to Norway Today.
Thank you.
You are from Iran,
Yeah.
and you are a businessman.
Yes.
You are traveling to Norway, and you are, I understand, going further on to America, to the United States of America.
Yes.
You come directly from Tehran, I understand, together with some friends and
That's
family.
right.
What is the situation in Iran at the moment? There is so much writing about it, and people are talking so much about Iran. It's very much in the news.
Yeah. In Iran, people believe, people are living in a fearful situation, expecting for possible conflict between Israel and Iran any day. The news we read every day is not very positive, and that's why it seems, the economy is also locked somehow. So the news we receive from Syria also shows that there will be no progress and no compromise between the West and Iran, and also the intentions probably West is following in the Middle East.
Is it the sanctions that is causing your financial problems?
That's what I think, definitely, yes.
So they help in a way?
It will be helpful to the West unless, the fires of war, will not get back to them again. What we think, if there's a war in the near future, it will drag the world, into it. So we think it will not be positive for any party here, Every side of the story will be hurt drastically. That's what I think.
Does the people of Iran fear a war? Do they think a war will start?
There are different ideas, but
what about yourself? Do you think that?
I'm very negative. I think it will happen sooner or later, not very far from today.
Who would you blame if it starts? Whose fault is it?
I blame the politicians everywhere. It's West and it's in the East also.
And also the Iranian.
Of course, yes.
Government.
Because they haven't acted very wisely recently, so it might come to us in a bad way. The reactions of their acts.
What should the Iranian government have done?
I think they should have foreseen the situation earlier, and they have to come up with a solution, a sort of compromise with the West and other countries, not to play victim this time, So they should have foreseen. I think they are realizing today that what is happening to Iran, and they are looking for some solution today. That's what my perception is. But I think it is too late today, and because of the Israeli and American bombs that we see are taking place. I don't know where it will go, but I think it will not be good for Iran, not positive for sure.
Do you think what is being claimed by the West, that Iran has nuclear weapons or trying to get nuclear weapons?
That might be possible. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the only justification, an argument that Iranian government can have. Otherwise, I think there will be no reason that we insist on nuclear power in any sort. So I think there should be something behind this.
So the government is lying?
I cannot say for sure, but because everybody has its own perception. Most of the people I meet every day in Iran believe that the nuclear power, nuclear energy will be ended with a nuclear weapon. But I think this is not the reason West is not compromising with Iran.
Because Iran has, if you look at Iran through history, Iran and the Iranian people has been very Western oriented. During the reign of the Shah, Iran was a very Western oriented country, and it was also very prosperous.
That's right.
Today it's not so prosperous, I believe,
I think,
because of the sanctions.
Yes, we are not living the same way as we did during Shah's time, but yeah, that is true. Yes.
Do you want the Shah to come back? Well, he is dead now, but do you want his rule, or do you want a monarchy again?
I think the monarchy was somehow better than what we have today, because I think today we are in a very critical historical time. So it's not a matter of monarchy or republic. So I think whoever rules the country must make right decision. This is what Shah should have done before, which he did not, and I hope our government, our rulers today make the right decision on time.
You had during the Shah's reign, you had a very effective secret police, the Savak, was it?
Savak, yes.
How are the secret police doing these days? Are they just as brutal as the Savak was at that time?
I believe they are. Yeah, I believe they are.
So there hasn't been any change as far as the living conditions for the people are concerned?
Well, there are different ideas. I would say there have been changes for worse.
Okay. There is an organization called Mujahideen that are operating from many countries. What could the Mujahideen do in order to get things better in Iran? Should they be more active inside the country? Or?
I think Mujahideen's hasn't done very hasn't done very good until today. They have no backup from inside Iran, and because of their isolation, I don't think they are thinking the right way. So I don't think anyone inside the country think that Mujahideen is a solution.
Are they any different from what people in the big cities like Tehran and other places think about the situation than, for example, people living in the countryside? Are they more supportive of the present regime than, or less supported by the present regime than people living in the cities that has education that are being?
I think if there is a free election, I don't think the current government can last long. So whether the remote areas, people living there are supporting the government or not, I think the majority are not supporting today's government. And although at the same time we believe that the Americans are looking for the wrong solutions and for the region. On the other hand, Russians are supporting Iran, and probably the formula that the West already designed for the region, we think that it might end up with a war in the region, and it's a fault of many countries. It's not only our politicians.
Are you scared?
Definitely, yes.
If a war starts, what would you do?
Well, I have a family in Iran, and I cannot leave them like that. So I think today, for my business, for my life in Iran, we go with 2 months plan, 3 months plans like that, because we cannot plan long. For today, I can tell you I will stay in Iran, but maybe later, if I have a chance to go somewhere, I will do that. But it definitely must be with the family, with the whole family, and we have to find somewhere else safe.
Would you fight on the side of the Mujahideen if it came to that?
No, I won't fight. if I take part in a fight, probably against them.
But if a war breaks out, will the people of Iran make a uprising against the present government? Are the people so, shall we say, loyal to the country as such that they will not accept, for example, Israel or other countries attacking Iran?
Well, it depends on which country attacks Iran. What I feel inside Iran that people are against Israel. The majority of Iranians are against Israel, whether it's about religion or in Palestine's issues. Stories have been created for many years. They are against Israel. If there's an attack by Israelis, probably many people will stand against. But if it is by American, I think it will change a bit. But if it's a land occupation, I don't think Iranian army can stand against American because they are going other way around. So probably they will start other things in other countries. You know what I mean? So. Myself, I do not believe there will be a classic war,
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So what you are saying is that many of the Iranian people will support the United States rather than Israel in the conflict?
No, I wouldn't say that, but because the question hasn't been brought up like this until today, because we don't think Americans will attack Iran directly. So that's why I think if there is an attack, definitely Iranians will support the country. Whether they support the Iranian government, this is a different story, which hasn't been cleared up, very well today. So, but what we feel inside is there will not be a classical war, like a country attacks another country. Maybe there will be some air attacks by Israel. That's I think everybody is unhappy with what Americans and Israel is doing, because a war will hurt everybody, and nobody wants to lose the life and their life. So normal life. So if there's an attack by Israelis, any threat by Americans, even the sanctions, it makes people angry, because we think it is not smart sanctions they are doing against Iran.
Why not? What should one do rather than imposing sanctions on the country?
Well, because every country is looking for its own interests. It's already known by, I think, everybody inside Iran also. So we think if they are against our government, they have to impose sanctions against government interests, not the people's interests. So the sanctions are pressuring the people in the first degree. That's what we feel. So the government is not hurt. Government also suffering, but it makes no change for the people's life, and no changes for the relation between the government and the people. So people will suffer more, and the government will survive. So that's what we call non-smart sanctions.
But if the people had been told by the government that sanctions are being imposed because of the government's policy, wouldn't that possibly result in a uprising against the government by the people? Isn't that what...
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
No, I'm thinking that if the sanctions that are imposed, that it's imposed on the country, but they are imposing sanctions because of the government's policy. And if the people of the country had been told that sanctions are being imposed because of the government's policy, wouldn't that have resulted in the people uprising, that they will react towards the government? Couldn't that be the reason for the Western sanctions, that they want the people to go against the government?